It's your boy, not Coach Tomlin, back again with my man Cody. We're here to talk about that football game, I guess, that happened
Yeah,
on Sunday. In Chicago, the boys took an ugly L. It was a 3-point loss, but seemed to be an ugly L to me. But I want to hear your thoughts on the game.
yeah. I figured that type of game wasn't going to be the prettiest, and it wasn't. As I described, the Bears team is like the Steelers of the NFC North in a sense because they are in a lot of close games, and thankfully the luck has been on their side this year. They're what 8-3 now, I think after that win, which is I think they're the worst 8-3 team in football or in general,
Hey,
but.
take it easy, man. They get their wins, man. They
No,
lining them
hey,
W's up.
listen, that's the second team for me because my mom born and raised, like I said last on the last pod. So like if anyone were to beat the Steelers, the Bears, fine. It was a game overall. It was close for the most part. So,
Yeah,
but I mean, we started off the game pretty rough. Obviously had that 9 yard run, and then what did we do on second down? Throw that interception. We went long. And credit to the CB for that interception because that was an incredible.
may sound right. So everybody's blaming. I've seen people blaming DK for that, for the interception, but like,
No,
nah,
that's not DK's fault. I think it was just a really incredible play by him,
it was
and so
fantastic play.
and sometimes that happens. And I think after that play, the coordinator must have been just like, you know what, Mason, let's just stick to checkdowns and 6 yard passes
Yep.
because for the rest of the game, that's really what it was. I
Yep.
mean, everyone that uses social media saw the pass chart and
Yep.
saw the lack of passes to the middle of the field to down the field,
Yep.
and you're just not going to win many games playing like that. And it's frustrating because Mason has been with this team for however many years before he left for a year with Tennessee, and now he comes back, and you're still treating him like he's a rookie or a second year player that can't sling the ball.
Yeah.
Like
That's
anyone
how they
who,
won. That's how he won against Cincinnati too, though, right? Because checking it down and these guys making plays down the field, But like,
yeah,
if he can't if he can't push the ball, everybody was excited because Mason could push. He likes to push the ball down the field as opposed to Aaron, who's going to take what the defense gives him. But like, you don't think people game plan for that, And it was
yeah,
another tale of going into halftime and just sitting around like, all right, time to go back out there. No kind of adjustments
yeah.
made whatsoever.
Well, the Bears got off to the lead. The Steelers ended up coming back and tying it 14-14. Um, we go up 21-14 after one of the better calls by the Steelers with the fake tush push into the handoff for
Yeah,
that was like a 60-yard run or whatever it was. Gets us down to the one.
fantastic.
And 21-14, I'm like, okay, let's get to the half up by 7. We have momentum, and then Bears, march down the field and kick a field goal. Thankfully, they didn't try to go for the touchdown.
Yeah,
And so, but then 21-17 at half, they score, what is it, 14 unanswered points.
yep.
And Steelers don't score until 8 minutes, 9 minutes left in the fourth.
I think
And
it was
we
less than
still,
that. I think it was
yeah,
less
it
than that.
was,
It was like around 6, something like that. Maybe like 6-5, 6 minutes,
yeah.
something like
Well,
that. But
the defense stops them twice, gets them
yep,
off the field, and the offense doesn't take advantage of that. And
yep,
obviously, the illegal formation with the Mason run was just that was a killer. That ended the game right there. If Mason
yeah.
that doesn't happen, I think Steelers at the very least send it into to OT.
OT.
But there's no, I can't, we can't do the what ifs. You know what I mean? What happened happened, and it
Yep,
was just another frustrating loss for the Steelers because that's a game that they could have and should have absolutely won.
yep. And the thing that bothered me when we could go back and look at the game from its entirety, from beginning to end, was the turnovers on our part. Um, they scored off of them. Like they scored,
Hmm.
what was it, 21 points off turnovers, and I'm including the turnover on downs on that little fugazi fake ass tush push that they tried the first time.
That was a
That
wild.
that was
I really thought my
absolutely,
TV froze. I was like, "What's
yeah,
going on? Why isn't he moving?"
foolish. So they went down and scored on that. They scored off the pick. So like these things, they add up at the end of the game. They scored off the fumble, the Mason fumble, right?
Yep.
They went down and scored. So that's 21 unanswered. I mean, not unanswered. 21 points off turnovers. That's a big
Yeah.
deal. You know what I mean? They capitalized on that. I think was Swift after Swift fumbled. Did we score after that? That might have been before we actually didn't. I think we ended up giving them the ball back. So like these
Oh
things
yeah, the Swift
are
fumble. Yeah, the Swift fumble we didn't take advantage of.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like these opportunities where we can either kick three or actually go for a real fourth down like attempt. Like don't try this little fake tush push shit. We got lucky
Yeah.
last week. Last week they gave it to us when we ain't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somehow they gave it to us against Cincinnati. I
Yeah.
was like, that wasn't he didn't reach it. You know,
Yeah, because the slip fumble happened actually, and then we got the tush push on the fourth down. So that was the same thing. We turned them over. Fourth down was the tush push that
yep.
was a complete failure. So,
Yeah.
anyways, continue.
But yeah, so like those are times when we have to take advantage. They got 21 points off turnovers. If we go and get 3 out of that after that Swift fumble, like that can be. I mean, we lost by 3 points.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no telling how the rest of the game goes, et cetera, et cetera. But we tried that tush push, didn't get it right. And I think they is that when they went down and scored. Yeah, the
yeah.
turnover
I'm
on down,
not.
the turnover on down.
Yeah,
So they went down and scored again. So then they
yep.
tied it up, and then that's when we tried the. That's when we got the fake tush push and we went up. You know, but then go on to sec. So what happened in the third quarter? Because that's what I missed. I missed the third quarter.
So, I have written down right here. Mason's fumble.
That happened in the
Was a
third.
Yeah, that was a big turning point because obviously Steelers still have the lead at 21-17, and then the fumble from Mason really kind of I felt like the momentum was shifting, and then
Yeah.
that's when Bears ran off two straight touchdowns against the Steelers. So it's just his fumble was not 100% his fault. You know, it happens. Sack fumbles. Obviously, TJ got one on Williams and everything for the touchdown, but you got to protect the ball. You got to make good
Yeah.
decisions, you know. And he Mason had two turnovers himself that game, and that's just not going to win many ball games.
Right.
But from there on, it was 31-21 Bears, right? And then Steelers bounced back with a nice drive. They had a really beautiful drive that ended in a touchdown to bring us
Yep.
back within three. And then it kind of was just the last 7 minutes of the game. It was we
Defense locked
three
in
and
and did
out,
what they
three and
had to do
out.
at that point,
Yeah,
right? The defense
yeah,
got the
they
ball
did.
back. Then we ended up punting again. Then they got the ball back again, and that's when the offense got to get in position, man, and tie that game up. You know, I think collectively we talked about complementary football last time. Collectively, I don't think both units played very well, right? I mean,
Hmm.
and I think the
I agree.
turnovers really blemished the fact that the Steelers still put up 28 points offensively. Well, actually 21 points offensively and a defensive
Yes.
touchdown, right? But there's still some of those same old defensive things that we've been talking about all season, right? The Steelers on offense don't utilize the middle of the field, and on defense don't defend the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Like these dudes are just killing them up the seams. Again,
It's
that's something I
aggravating.
talked about. That's something I talked about back in the Seattle game, and that was like week 2.
Mhm. Yeah.
Here we are, week 12. We were talking about the same issues. The seams were DJ Moore. I think he scored 2 times like that.
Yeah. The only thing missing out there for our DBs is a couch to go with the cushion that they give these wide receivers out there because
Yep.
it's I just don't understand it. And there's another play that I've seen quite a bit was a 3rd and 5, and
Orlovsky posted it. Dan
yeah,
Orlovsky. Yep.
yeah, and I'm just like scratching my head like what are you guys doing like what's the scheme? What are we trying to do? And it's not just
Indeed,
that.
on third and
It's
short.
the DJ. It's DJ Moore, the 34-yard man. Just like he sliced us up a little bit. Like the one play where he was up right up the middle for a touchdown, up the seam, and I'm like, no one's within 5 yards of him. Like there's no communication on the back end or with anybody, and it's just he wasn't the only guy that was wide open either of that play. Like
Yep.
Williams had 2 or 3 guys he could have just picked to if he wanted to. So the defense, they can say they're pissed off after every game and like they got to get their shit together and they got to figure it out. But we're coming up on week 13.
Yep.
It's no more figuring it out. Like next week, figure it the f out and let's get out there and stop playing soft. Stop giving these wide receivers so much cushion where they can just catch a ball for 6 yards and run.
Yep.
Like let's tighten things up. Please, it's way too late in the season to have these mislapses during games consistently as the Steelers do.
So is this just who the Steelers are at this point, man? Right? It is week 12. Like we're still talking about simple things, communication wise, that we've talked about back in week 2 when Sam Darnold came in to Pittsburgh and diced them up. We're looking at Caleb Williams dicing them up. Right? We thought things would change. We thought Daniel Jones. We assumed Daniel Jones was going to come in and dice them up, and then it was like, oh no, we actually
Yeah.
dominate. Right? Drake May. Oh no. Right? We got these guys like that we were able to kind of force turnovers and make plays
Hmm.
and things of that nature. And then we get in here and Caleb Williams, I mean, he's got weapons, right? We've talked about him and how, his growth from year 1 to year 2. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy game to go in and win, but this was
Yeah,
a
of
very,
course.
very winnable game that we should have been able to handle things with the way the defense has started to put it together. And then they just looked completely lost out there again. 31 points, that's a big deal, man. That's not something that's like, yeah, that's not going to cut it in the AFC because we don't got the offense to put up 32 points a game. You
No,
know,
absolutely, absolutely, and it's, yeah, the Steelers had 2 turnovers, and the possession flips pretty quickly, but the defense still has to make the stops when needed, which is
got to hold
basically,
them to 3. Got to hold them to 3 at least, right?
yeah.
One of those drives, if you hold them to 3, we looking at a different outcome at the end of the game. You
Yeah,
know,
it just looked, the Bears just look like, again, just another offense that could not necessarily do what they want against the
they
Steelers,
did,
but
they did.
they did, and they dominated the trenches. Their run game looked. They picked up a lot of chunk plays off the run game.
I don't even
Um,
think they actually ran over. I think they might have ran over 100. I can't. I don't. I got to look at the numbers again. I don't think they ran for 100, but it still looked pretty easy. Like
mhm.
third down and long. Caleb's like, oh, we got him right where we want him. Whatever. What you want to
Yeah,
call? What you want to call Ben Johnson? We gonna convert it anyway. And then they went out there and just converted the shit.
yeah,
Third and 15. Oh, third and 15. Oh, all right, yo, go ahead. They ain't covering the shit anyway. Go
yeah. They're gonna
easy
give you a ten
conversion.
yard cushion anyway,
Yeah.
so who cares?
Especially right before the half, I'm like, all right, we got them. Oh, penalty. Oh shit, it's second and 15 now. No problem.
Yeah,
They run a quick screen in the middle. Luther Burden down the side. You know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
20 yards, whatever it
Yeah.
was. Yeah. No,
So like,
it's the same. It's the same old sense about, what was it, 2017, 2018. We play conservative, we play scared. At times, very very soft football, and
mhm.
you want to deny it as like a Steelers fan. You don't want to accept the fact that this is the identity of them. But it's been 8 years
Yeah.
since, from that's just from my memory of like how consistently mediocre that the Steelers are game in and game out.
Yep.
Um, and I think at some point changes need to be made. Now, where those changes are made, it's not up to me or you, or
Yeah.
but they need to be made somewhere. And
Yep. They're talking about living in fears. They living in fears offensively and defensively. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And like you seeing it. That's why you're losing these kind of games, man. Like we got how many of those games already that we've dropped this year? Out of
yeah.
the 5 losses. You know what I mean? 3 at
So,
least. I can think of.
question for you, not to try to cause any riff or anything, but who do you really, for the past 8 years, 7 years, maybe even just this year, who do you put the blame on? Like, is it one singular person, or is it like, do you have a lot of blame on Tomlin, or do you blame it on the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? Like, I want to know your
So
thoughts on that.
the way that I look at it is there's no way that Mike Tomlin can get out of it without taking most of the blame.
Yeah,
He's the one constant in all of it. Um, and if it is true that he's responsible for bringing in these coordinators, then he's got to be responsible for his coordinators,
yeah,
right? Because as trash as they are, he's the one that hires them. He's the one that brings them
absolutely.
back. This, that, and the third. He doesn't. If things aren't going well, he has the executive power to make a change mid game or halftime or whatever it may be, and he's not doing that. Then he's getting into the press conferences and giving all these Tomlinisms and saying all the dumb shit, and then nothing is really actually changing. So like, I got to put it mostly on Mike. You know what I mean? There's a big execution issue too. And that's where I'll bring it back to the coach in terms of the undisciplined, right? The dumb penalties, the false starts, the offsides, You know, those kinds of things that, of course, I'm gonna blame it on the player, but like
Yeah, yeah,
when you look at it from a cultural perspective of the culture, we're seeing it on both sides of the ball. We're seeing it in special
yeah,
teams. We're seeing it across the board, and it has got no choice but to go back to him. Now, do I think Mike Tomlin needs to be fired? I'm not there yet. I don't think so yet. I would like to see him make a splash play in regards to getting some actual coordinators in here that really actually know what the hell they're doing.
yeah.
Namely on the defensive side, because he's given Dick after what you call excuse me,
Well,
after Dick LeBeau left, it's been like what, Keith Butler and
yeah,
then this guy,
it's been a
right?
mess
So like
overall.
we got to get somebody in there. I thought I would have loved if he would have kept B Flow on, but like he wanted to let B Flow get an opportunity to do something else, you know, get an HC position,
Fair, fair,
which is
fair.
fair. But I would have loved to see him keep B Flow on, somebody that is a real student of the game and actually knows exactly what's going on, and he could scheme with the players that he got.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like Terrell Austin knows what the hell he's doing. You know what I mean? We got Malik
yeah,
Harrison out there running in coverage, trying to chase after running backs. Like it just
yeah.
doesn't. It's not. It just doesn't. It looks ugly, man. It looks terrible.
Linebackers covering Odunze when he's, obviously the Bears'
Yeah,
top
we
receiver. He's
talked
like
about it.
arguably top. Yeah,
Jack Sawyer is out there trying to chase after T Higgins last week. Like
yeah,
we cannot do things like that because now it's looking like the players are absolute garbage. But you got them in terrible position to be able
yeah,
to be able to succeed. Now we do got players out there that are just not making plays. The guys have even said it themselves. We got guys out there going rogue, kind of like not really following the game plan and that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
for that, I'll look at the players and say, "What the hell are y'all doing?" But also, I'll go back to the coaches and be like, "Let's look at the film. Yo,
yeah,
what are you doing?" You know what I mean? The accountability there. So like, I'd say it's probably 70-30. I'm giving a 70 to Mike though.
yeah. And I'm kind of with you on the whole Tomlin thing. I'm more so, and it's like not frustrating. It hurts to say, but like I'm kind of more so on the side of like it's time to move on, and I've avoided it and avoided it and avoided it. And listen, everyone who watches this is gonna be like, "Yo, you guys are 6-5. Like, shut the hell up. Like, you're not the Jets or anything." But
Yeah,
when it becomes a
it's different
trend,
over here though. It's different over here.
yeah, when it becomes a trend of like now I start to realize like, oh yeah, but Steelers didn't have a losing season. Who gives
Hmm.
a shit? At the end of the day, give me the number one pick if that's the case. If if
That's what
if
I,
this is what it's going to be like every
Cody.
year,
I've been telling you that
I know, I
we
know.
gotta just be ass for a year. Be
Yeah,
ass for a year. It's not even necessarily a rebuild, but we can, you know what I mean? We can start with something, get something good. We don't need a number one. Get a top 10. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Lose out, go 6-11. You know what I mean? Which we really might actually just do anyway. Go six and
yeah,
11. You know, get a number 9 pick, 10 pick, something like that. We got a bunch of picks coming up. It's gonna be
yeah,
in Pittsburgh. We don't need to go and draft a quarterback with the first round pick. Don't be stupid. But like
yeah.
we could put some pieces in there that could be helpful. But like I'm tired of the same. Like these guys are going to still stumble into 9-8 and still have a possibility of making the playoffs. Will still be in the hunt
Yeah,
in week 18, and like needing two teams to lose for us to get in, and then somehow we'll get a wild card spot and then get blown out because the offense can't do
yeah.
nothing again. Like how many years in a row have we had to do that? You know what I
It's
mean?
yeah, absolutely. Even like
Quarterback carousel.
Ben Roethlisberger last year, they luckily got into the playoffs. I'm like, we have no chance though. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think it's at some point we have to look in the mirror and just like kind of say, do we need to move on from Tomlin or what? And I personally love him, but it's
There ain't gonna
becoming
be no show,
frustrating.
man. There ain't gonna be the show's gonna be going already if Mike Tomlin leave. Because then who am
Yeah.
I gonna be? Shit. Don't do this to me, Mike. Damn. Just do better, man. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm dying, But yeah,
Yeah, but
well, we're 6-5. We'll see how the Bengals do, like you said on Thursday,
yeah,
against the Ravens. By the way, I've said this for years. It's never going to probably happen, but I truly believe the third Thanksgiving game every year should be Ravens Steelers.
yep. I
I
agree.
that's not a biased opinion. I just think why not have one of the best rivalries in football? Every time they played on Thanksgiving, it's been a banger. You know what I
You,
mean? Or just about. I'm not gonna say every time, but I think that should be the third plug-in game for Thanksgiving every single year. It's not going to happen, but this was
Nah,
just that was
yeah,
that was a sidebar right there. I
yeah,
just want
because
to get out.
because it's the same because the same thing people say about Tomlin. People asking the same question about John Harbaugh too. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, the timing of things, and how many years you're gonna go through the same issues, and so it's some two-story historic coaches, man, Super Bowl winning coaches. It's hard to just be like, yeah, you get them out of
yeah,
here. We need to figure something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah,
and plus, like, you got to figure out what the contingency plan is going to look like. And
yeah,
people are saying now, like, look, if you're going to do it now. Trade Mike, get a so that he can whoever comes in can pick their quarterback and their coordinators or whatever, start from scratch.
yeah.
But like this coming up draft, man, I've been watching a bunch of college football, and where we're gonna probably land in the draft. The only quarterback that looks like he's worth something is Mendoza from Indiana,
All set,
and he ain't
all
gonna
set.
be there. And
Nope, nope.
I'm not really sold either. Like that's the best that's the best they have to offer, and I'm not sold. So like
Yeah.
um so
If I'm any NFL team this year, I'm just doing my best to pass up on every quarterback in this draft. You know
I
what?
don't
Like,
know.
I don't trust any of them. Like, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're awful by any means. I would not. There's not enough things that I've seen during the college football season to say this is the guy for a
Right.
franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, continue. I interrupted you.
Nah, that's really it, man. We'll see what the boys got this week. Buffalo. They're reeling too. You know what I mean? So it's like
Exactly.
it's a must win for both of these guys as far as trying to hold on to whatever they can get in the division, let alone the wild card spot. So like it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
a huge playoff indication game right there between those two teams. Again, and the rest of the season is kind of going to be like that for us in a sense. Is every game, and I'm
yep,
kind of with you of like if we're going to be bad, let's just be bad. Let's not try to. I'd rather be like a Saints or a Jets fan that just know that think about every game that they go into. It's like, well, we're probably going to lose this one if we win, whatever. But let's try to get the
yep,
best pick.
yep,
And I know I'm not. I'm just not satisfied with this a playoff appearance and then an embarrassing loss where everybody is watching, and it's just
yep.
like then you get clowned at work or by your friends, or you get texts. It's like I don't want to deal with that shit. Like
Yeah, or they're laughing at
so
you in the bar while you're watching T.J. Watt tackle Derrick Henry without the football in his hands, and
yeah,
then Lamar running for 20 yards on the field. You know what I mean? We don't need to do all that. Let's not waste our time here. The Aaron Rodgers experiment, we're kind of like almost done with it. He hasn't played terrible. I wouldn't say this is all
no,
his
he
fault.
hasn't.
You know what I mean? Aaron's played pretty well. His leadership seems to be pretty. I mean, seeing him on the sideline, pissed off at the illegal formation, was just like, I know he was probably like, why the hell did I come? These motherfuckers is dumb.
Yeah,
You know, he was just like, what the hell are these guys doing? You know
it
what I
was good to
mean?
see him like have that emotion on the sideline. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? To like he was, it seemed like he really did care, and like he seems like a good teammate in that sense of like he truly wants to win. Obviously, it's Chicago, and if he
right,
plays, I'm not a big if person in sports because if never happens. You know that's why we talk
right.
about it.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that we win that game if he's out there. But
I don't know
that's
that he would have made the
you know
defense
there.
play better.
No,
I
he
don't know.
wouldn't have, but I think the offense would have looked a little bit better.
Yeah,
And Chicago, like that's just
yeah,
he owns them. So,
yeah,
but well, it seems like we're gonna have him back this week, and
yeah,
hopefully that will help us. But we're just gonna have to wait and see on his status, and
yeah,
then kind of go from there.
yeah, man. So, I think we can get on, and I got to look at a little bit more Buffalo. I think I may have seen enough, but we got to get on and talk about that. I do know a Buffalo Bills fans. I'm about to try to get them on too. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
That will be. I will say before we wrap it up with the Bills game, I hope that they put Warren in when we need him because he was not to be seen on the last. I think one definitely the last possession, but I think even the last two possessions he just wasn't
Yep.
out there, and
They
that's
didn't have
another.
they didn't have Jalen Warren or Darnell Washington on the field
Yeah,
at all, right? I think you sent that to me, right?
yeah,
Um, the two most actual productive people on the offense, they didn't have them out there when you need to go down there and get three at least, right? So
yeah,
like that's also going back to Mike. What are you
yeah,
doing? What are you just standing there with the headset looking at the screen? Like that's all you're
yeah.
doing right now. That's all you're doing is just
Yeah.
you want the camera to pan at you so you could just be looking at the damn jumbotron screen. like like the jumbotron screen got your ass in trouble with Jacoby. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So like, if that's all it's gonna be, if we go through another game, if we go through Buffalo, and let's say we get smoked, and then all they show is Mike looking at the
yeah. It's a wrap for him then if that's the
yeah, get him
case.
out of here, get him out of here. That's it.
Because
Like
I
I can't
know
defend it no more.
yeah, I think a lot of fans are kind of like tired of his Tomlinisms and his press conferences that are just. I know you got to stick to a script, but like his script is like set in stone. Like that's it. He never veers off of it. And I know he doesn't
Yeah,
want to give the media too much or too little. He just gives the media what he thinks is enough.
and I get
But
it, but like, come on, bro.
yeah, give us a little bit. Give us a little bit more. And stop. Hiding behind whatever you're hiding behind.
Yeah,
Just because you're the coach. But yeah,
yeah.
Buffalo this week, and then just continue from there, and
And there's the
hopefully,
Ravens week after that, so we need this Buffalo win because then it's Ravens week. So like,
yeah,
that's it. We Buffalo, then we going into Ravens, and then I think we got Miami. Then I think we got the Ravens. No, Ravens are at the end. We got
the
Miami.
Lions somewhere in the
Yeah,
mix.
we got the Miami. We got the Dolphins. I mean, the Browns, the Lions, right? Then
Yeah,
we got the Ravens at the end. So like, we need all of these games, honestly. But like, we literally can lose all of them as well. So like,
yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see, man. But
All we
we'll
can do is say our prayers at night, right?
pray for me because I'm a Steelers fan. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's it. That's it, brother. All right,
Well, I
man.
hope that you have an enjoyable Thanksgiving. It'll be stress free because none of our teams are playing.
My
Unless you had a
fantasy team will
fancy.
probably be losing, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Because
I lost on a touchdown late in the game last night, so I'm fighting for a playoff spot in one of my leagues, and that's frustrating. So,
that's
but
crazy.
But yes, enjoy Thanksgiving with the family. Have a safe Thanksgiving. I'm not doing anything Wednesday night. I'm staying in and
There
gonna
you
have
go.
a nice
We're
Thursday
old now, man.
Thanksgiving.
We old. That
Can't do
Wednesday
that.
night before Thanksgiving shit. That shit old. You know what I mean? We old
I
now.
can't do it anymore. I can't wake up on Thanksgiving with a headache and being miserable and laying down. Just it's not fun.
That's
So
fair.
I got to see my parents and then I got to see Kayla's parents. So I'll be doing the driving around with that.
All right,
But
all right,
I will
brother,
talk
man.
to you soon. We'll
Yes, sir.
circle back and have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir, man. Take it easy.